Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10 Let's Play. As you can see behind me, we are no longer working on our dimensional seed. We got that finished up on stream. We were just waiting on emeralds to make the 4x emerald block, and we had plenty of them crafted up, and we decided the next piece we're going to start on. It is the Oblivion shard. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, the Oblivion shard is what we're going to be working on next. We're going to get the server updated here real soon, and I'll finish out the Nexium emitter with the new crafting recipe that does not require me to go insane getting all the way through modern industrialization. The Oblivion shard right here. I have pinned everything we need. We're going to need to take some adventures. We're going to have to go find a bunch of Cataclysm bosses and kill them, which sounds like good things to do on a stream. We're going to have to make the Mace of Destruction, which is from Evilcraft. So let's see what we can do there. Like, I don't know what's required. Let me chase this down and get together a game plan, and we'll get started. Heck yeah, it's actually pretty neat how we're going to get through this. We made that environmental accumulator that's portable, which we're going to need an environmental accumulator so we can get this this thing, the inverted potentia. We have to have it struck by lightning in an environmental accumulator. So I think we can use ours that we've crafted. We're just going to have to get some, lightning weather conditions and then run that little thing through the environmental accumulator. So a couple other things we're going to need to get into. It looks like we're going to need to make an undead sapling because we need undead wood or undead planks to make the dead sticks here. So the way we do that is we're going to take a dead bush, which hopefully we have one. I mean, we don't. Okay. How do we get one? So we can smelt a sapling in the alloy smelter. We can put any sapling in a drying basin. Okay. Let's go with the alloy smelter and just go stick a sapling in it and start there. Where is our alloy smelter? Here it is. Okay, you just need a sapling of any kind. Where are my oak ones? Oak. Oh, there they are. Sweet. So now we got bunches of dead bushes. A whole stack. All we have to do is put it in here. And there is our undead sapling. Let's go grow the thing. Ta-da! Oh, it drips blood. Neat. All right. Grab out our axe. I said, let's grab out our axe. Oh, look, it drops bloodstains on the ground. That's actually kind of neat. I wonder if you could somehow automate that to collect the bloodstains. That'd be cool. All right, here are our undead logs. We need these in plank form for making our evil dark stick thing. Sweet. And that is done. So now we need to make the inverted potentia, which we needed potentia spheres, which we have some already somehow. Must have looted them. If you don't have any, the craft is just pretty simple. A slime ball and stuff that you should have had for a really long time if you're watching this episode. So now we have our inverted potentia. We have our sticks. The Mace of Destruction, I did not pin the craftable recipe. I only pinned the full one. So let's see. Let's pin the recipe that we can actually craft. We're going to need 2 more Garmonbosia, which we made a couple episodes ago when we made our portable environmental accumulator. So let me get those crafted up, and then we'll find some lightning. Crafted up our Garmonbosia, and now we're going to try this. I don't know anything about it, but I think this lightning bomb from Evilcraft may make it lightning in the world. So we're going to try. The lightning grenade comes from a weather container that's been thunderstruck, surrounded by a bunch of ender pearls. We had to make a lightning grenade for a crafting component, but we've not used one yet. So we're going to just set it up and try it out. If this doesn't work, you'll probably never see this clip. If it does work, though, we'll all have learned something together. So give me a second here to get the tank saw placed down where they go with blood, and I'll be right back, and we'll try this together. All right, and we're back. I accidentally cut the recording. Hopefully you guys don't see that in the edit. But here we are. We have our environmental accumulator set down. We've got the blood everywhere it says it needs it. Let's toss in our inverted potential. It won't let me put it in there. Huh? What? That's what I said to do with it, right? Use. Yeah. I'm totally missing something. Sanguinary environmental accumulator. Strike with lightning to empower. Okay. Does it have to be like lightning for us to do that? Let me put this somewhere. I have no idea what's going to happen when we do this, so let's figure it out. Okay, well that did nothing. All right, give me a minute to see if I can figure it out, figure out how to get it to work. All right, once again, thanks to Reddit, it looks like we can just throw this on the ground. Let's turn our magnet off. Throw it on the ground and throw a lightning grenade at it. Ha! We didn't even need our environmental accumulator. Would you look at that? Thanks, Reddit. 8-year-old post about how to make this for some other pack. I'm not real sure, but yep, there we go. Got it done. So that was super easy, and now we should be able to craft up this Mace of Destruction. There we go. All that's left is to fill it with blood. Where is our blood? It's in a drawer, right? Time fluid, ether gas. Oh, you may notice that a lot of these drawers are pretty full, or look pretty empty. It's because I've been going through replacing all of my upgrades with netherite ones now that we know how to craft them. Where is our blood? It's over here. Duh. Right there. There we have it. One full of blood Mace of Destruction. Where does it go? Where do it go? In the craft. So we can unpin it. It goes in the middle. One more thing knocked out. Heck yeah, what's next on the list? So these drills. Okay. Steve's carts, never played with the thing, so let's chase down these. We need 2 of these Galgadorian drills. Y'all must love hearing me try to say all these words. Okay, this looks like just a craft, so let's get into our pattern encoding terminal here. Let's drill in. We'll just add this one, even though we don't know how to get those materials yet. We'll look into that in a minute. Looks like there's some ingots that we're going to have to figure out. But the basic drill we already have. Okay, so let's toss those in here. And then let's take a look at these other ores. So we need reinforced metal, which is stabilized metal smelted, which is refined hardener, raw hardener. Okay. So probably ought to make a recipe for this stuff. We'll put that there, make a recipe for it to be able to craft it. And then we're probably going to need, it looks like it has to be smelted, so we can take it one step further for that. So if we go to the uses on this stuff, smelting recipe to turn it into the other item. So let's do that here. And we can put that in our furnace. So that'll get us the refined hardener. All right, and then we can toss this into the storage. uses and then uses on that. Now we need a recipe for this, but we're also going to need hardened mesh. Okay, cool. So a couple more recipes. Uses on the hardener. Let's see. Hardener. Should have just pinned the stuff that we need. We need hardened mesh. And then if we go to uses on that, we also need a pattern for stabilized metal. So stabilized metal and hardened mesh. And now those are both just crafting recipes. Once we get to here, this has to be smelted to be turned into reinforced metal. Awesome. So we'll just make our pattern for that. And now the system should be able to make our reinforced metal that we need for that tier. Which tier was that? Was that the second tier or the first tier, Wooly? We go there, we go here. Yes, so we can make the basics now. And then now we can make the hardened drill. And now we're going to need to figure out this stuff, Galgadorian metal. So we need that and that. And we get this by making these. And those are crafted like that. And then we need, so stabilized metal we know how to make, and then we need these things. Which is stuff we have. Heck yeah, just a bunch of patterns it looks like. Just some nested crafting to get us through to making these two drills. Looks like we're going to be able to knock out some more star pieces. I mean, a lot of this is stuff that if you didn't already have resources come in would be difficult, but we're kind of at the point in the pack where we've got most of our basics coming in for us. So not gonna lie, it's kind of fun to just be able to put in a bunch of recipes. But right there, we do not have a recipe in here for magma cream apparently. So let's make sure we get that going. Yeah, we don't have a recipe for magma cream, but we should have all of that stuff to be able to make it. Here's the lump of Galgadors and the large lumps and the reinforced or enforced whatever, that thing. Sweet. So one smelting recipe for the furnace and the rest are crafting recipes. So you don't know how to make Galgadorian metal though. Okay, so we missed a pattern. Let's hit there to pin it. So we missed a pattern for this. So we take the small clump and smelt it. So we have another smelting recipe. So we only need to put in our smelting recipe that we missed on our initial craft, and we'll give this a go and see if we can craft the drills. We need 2 of the Galgadorian drills. Galgadorian. Okay, times 2. Missing 156 slime essence to craft the magma cubes. All right, slime. So we don't have slime seeds coming in. So let's pick a different method of making our magma cream. How can we make it from, do we have molten cores coming in? 148,000. I'd say we have them coming in. So we'll do it that way. We will just make a conversion from our molten cores for the magma cream, and we will take out that other recipe because we have those coming in from hostile neural networks. So you get to come out and you go in. All right, now let's try this again. Galgadorian times 2. If you're wondering why your patterns aren't working, make sure you put them in the right place. One of you probably caught it. I put the processing pattern for the stabilized metal in the regular crafting grid and not in the furnace. So as soon as I move that over, as you can see, now it's crafted everything. So wondering why we weren't completing there and just had to go on a hunt to figure out why it wasn't working. It was my fault. That's why it wasn't working. So these go in the 2 corners that are still empty here on our pattern. Woo! Making progress. All right. Trying to figure out how we're doing on time because I interrupted another recording. I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing all right on time. So let's take a look at the next one. So we've got to find a couple cataclysm bosses, which I think is going to be a lot. We have to get through the Twilight Forest all the way up to the Snow Queen, which we have not done. There were some issues with the Twilight Forest earlier when we started this pack where there were certain areas of the Twilight Forest that were like crashing the world. We think those have been resolved by an update, so let's make ourselves a portal to the Twilight Forest and let's pop in there. I think it might be my first time going in, which all we need is water bucket and a diamond. So let's grab ourselves out a diamond. Let's put up some of this junk in our inventory. Oh, some more forest containers from when I went and got it, so we can boom, boom, yeah. This is so much fun, by the way. Like the implications too of what we can do with this are actually really kind of cool. Like being able to capture a biome and bring it somewhere. You can, like, I mean, possibilities are endless. Things that are biome specific. You could bring in the little thing for like a farm. Like if you wanted to make a, I don't know, a snow farm or something, I'm guessing. There's just, can't think of a good example right now, Wooly, but you're like, oh, it'll be so cool, but you can't think of an example. Which, you're right, I can't. I'm going to come back through and replace a lot of this dirt with that other, the dirt from the Twilight Forest. Or not Twilight Forest, from the Eternal Starlight. So, because I like the black on the side of it. That was the main reason I wanted to do this, was to be able to use that dirt. So there we go. We've spread some more purple grass around the base. All right. Back on track, Wooly. All right, we're going to need some flowers, too. So, you know, if you're not familiar, to get to the Twilight Forest, we just need a bucket, a pool of water, and some flowers. So we need 16 or whatever. We need enough to go all the way around the thing. Ring around the thing. Poppies. We should be able to just throw in our diamond. And there we go. Here we are, into the Twilight Forest for the first time. Just so we don't have to wait on that every time, let's go ahead and drop down a waystone. And here we are. We're in here. You can go back through your portal if you don't have waystones with you, but this is the Twilight Forest. Now, the Twilight Forest has its own progression that there should be a quest line for us over here to get through. And as you can see, it is expansive. We are going to have to start by making our map to be able to find our way around. And then we have to work through each of the bosses because the Twilight Forest is gated. You cannot go just straight to the boss you need. We have to work our way through beating all the bosses along the way until we get to the boss that we actually need the drops from. Now, we need boss drops from multiple bosses for the star. If you come in here and look where the Twilight Forest is, not only do we need the Snow Queen for ours, but we're going to need the Ergast and the Hydra trophies for other crafts on our star piece. So this is something that we have to do for multiple parts of the star. So getting started, we are going to need a raven feather, I do believe, to make our map, if I remember correctly. It is in the quest book, though. I do believe I saw it right there. So, welcome to the Twilight Forest, yada, yada, yada. 2x2, fill with water. It told you how to do everything I just did. And now, you'll discover one of these creatures is the cicada. I suggest killing this mob for this, but killing any Twilight Forest mob will work. Okay, so it wants us to find the cicada, which are these little things, right? Nope, these are fireflies. Wants me to find a cicada. Where are they? I thought they were on the trees. You can hear them when you get near them, just like real life cicadas. I do love that jetpacks are working. Ooh, loot. This is, yeah, these guys, the forgotten skeleton druids. There we go. Silence of the Forest. We got our achievement for killing a mob. Let's go ahead and break that spawner. And there should be some good loot in here. No, not really. Okay, no, not good loot at all. Yeah, that's all pretty garbage. Sounds like there's some mobs or something up here. Just another spawner. We'll go ahead and take that out. Turn our magnet back on. And we're going to do some adventuring. I'm going to run around. I'm going to loot. And when actually, we're going to work on the map together. Willie, what are you talking about? Help them with the map. Just water bottles. Okay, bunch of junk right there. So let's get out of here. And let's look at our quest book now. Now it wants us to find the Raven. Yep. Raven feathers. It's easy to get lost in your travels. You'll run into obsidian pillars. These pillars will have ravens around them. Kill them, and they will drop their feathers, which you can use to create a map. Cool. So let's go find an obsidian pillar. For a raven. How's a raven like a writing desk? That's a joke that I don't even know the answer to. Oh, my wife does.
How's a raven like a writing desk? Poe wrote on both.
Ah.
You can edit that.
Gotcha. For those of you that might not have heard it, she said, how's a raven like a writing desk? Poe wrote on both. Yep. All right. Hey, here's the first boss that we're going to need to kill. This is the Naga, but we need to find that obsidian pillar. Here's one right here. Now let's find ourselves a raven and smack it. Ha! Die, raven. Sweet. We got 2 feathers. Those feathers are the ones that we're going to use to create the map. Magic map focus. Looks like we need some torch berries, which we have not collected yet. Torch berries are just like you think they are. They grow from a vine somewhere in here. I don't remember where, but we will find them. Torch berries. Is this them? Nope, those are mushrooms. Are the torchberries the ones that grow in the mounds? Oh, here we go. There's some right there. So there are some torchberries. Just fly around until you find them. And now we should be able to make our magic map focus and then create our magic map. And let's go ahead while we're in here and pin the map so we don't have to come back looking. Magic map focus. And blank magic map. As you can see, it shows you all the different biomes around you, and it does show us that we are indeed right near a Naga. You'll notice that the Naga is the first boss listed here, so let's just go kill him. You know, we're here. We've got everything together. Let's do it. Come on, buddy. Where are you at? I can't believe it lets us fly in here. A lot of packs block you from flight. I mean, I'm not mad at it, though, because flying makes it so much easier. But here's the Naga. His fight is, if you have gear, it shouldn't be too bad. He's going to lose parts of himself every time you hit him. And he'll continually get shorter and shorter and shorter until you finally kill him. And then once you kill him, here you go. Chest with loot, and we get the trophy. On to the next thing. Bring out your dead, the Lich Tower. The Lich boss has 3 phases. He attacks me with ender pearls in the first one, and you have to reflect them back to break the shields that are around him. And then once his shields are down, you can kill him. And then, you know, there you go. There you have it. So let's go find the next one, which I don't see on the map. Or is it? Nope, there he is, that way. So that should be the one we need in this direction. Yep, here's our Lich Tower. Now, if we couldn't fly in here, you would have to go through the tower. But since we can fly in here, we should be able to just come on up to the top and break our way in. So here's the Lich. Like I said, we have to reflect back his little ender pearls. Oh, well, you gotta actually hit it, Wooly. So that's one shield down. Well, I'm not very good at this, as you can tell. All right, we got one that time. Down to 2. I hit that one back, but it did not hit him, so. All right, one more shield. All right, his defenses are down. And there we go. He's dead, and we should get a chest, just like with the other bosses. There we go. Let's put our stuff in storage. Oh, we got lots of stuff here. And there's our Naga trophy, or not our Naga trophy, our Lich trophy. To the swamps. It's time to go to the swamps. In the swamps, you'll find an odd-looking hill. Inside of it is the entrance to the Minishroom Labyrinth. Once inside, you'll find several new enemies that can drop the maze map focus. This is needed to make a maze map. This is a special map that will show you around the labyrinth. Mini maps don't really work in there, and we will need to use that to be able to find the boss at the middle, being the Minishroom trophy, where we get our stroganoff, our beef stroganoff from the cow, from the mushroom cow. So let's get to it. Actually, you know what? That's going to have to be an episode, because that's going to put us at time. But we're going to keep on. We will keep going through the Twilight Forest in the next episode to get up to our Snow Queen trophy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've been able to learn something. And if you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll see y'all next time.